This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Right now, it's do or die for City SC. The St. Louis soccer team facing off against Sporting KC for Game 2 of the playoffs. That game started at 4. Right now, it's 1-0, with Sporting KC scoring just before the half. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. The game is underway in Kansas City, and it's a crucial game for our MLS expansion team. City SC must win today's game in order to continue in the postseason. Let's head over to Laura Barcheski, who is live from Kansas City with more on the excitement around today's match and all the St. Louis fans in Kansas City.
Yeah, Mike, the St. Louis City SC fans have grown the sea of red that is slowly overtaking that sea of blue here at the Sporting KC Stadium, and they are here loud and proud. Fans drove from all over the state to be here in Kansas City to support City SC in, as you said, the second game of the playoff series. There are several different supporter groups who've been going strong all season and are not going to let off the gas now. They say this first year has been incredible and the team has exceeded their wildest dreams. I talked to a fan who says the energy and love for the game keeps them coming back no matter the outcome.
Just being at the games week after week, people I never would have met in my day-to-day life. It's just wonderful to come somewhere. People know your name, people like you, they see you, they recognize you, they want to hang out. And yeah, I think this really truly is a community. Win, lose, or draw, we're all St. Louis City.
Fans are keeping up that energy on both sides, whether they're Sporting KC or St. Louis City SC. We can hear those roars from outside the stadium. And as you said, Mike, the Sporting KC just scored the first goal of the match. We're going to keep up hope, though, and we'll bring you more tonight on the News After Football. Reporting live from Kansas City, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And right now, there are watch parties happening across our area. Take a look at one inside the Armory in Midtown, and even though our team is in Kansas City, City SC fans are still cheering right here in St. Louis. Sports Director Frank Cusimano will have more on the game during sports, and we'll have expanded team coverage tonight after Sunday Night Football. And you can keep up with our expanded coverage on tonight's game at KSDK.com. Just text CITY to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link with all that information. And Gary Frank, our meteorologist, joins us now with a look at this week's work forecast.
Pretty nice. It still didn't feel like November.
No, it doesn't.
We've had a couple of cold stretches, but we're headed for near record highs.
It was cold last weekend, but very nice this weekend.
And we're going to continue that trend, warm, breezy, and dry, unfortunately, at the same time. But, looking outside, a very nice sunset as we had a few clouds. Temps in the mid-60s this afternoon, and look at St. Charles, pretty nice, an illuminating sunset here because of a few of those high clouds streaming in from the west. But other than that, it's not going to do much for us. We had some rain, sprinkles yesterday. We've dropped to the mid-60s. The difference this morning is that it was much cooler. We had some at least a little frost in a few locations, but we've warmed up significantly, mid to upper 60s. 50s on the Illinois side, just a little bit in the next 12 hours, I think. Our temps are not going to drop all that much into the overnight hours. That's going to be the big difference for us as we warm back up. Where we get tomorrow and how close we are to a record high over the next few days just ahead.
All right, Gary, thanks. As the war in Israel continues, support for both Israelis and Palestinians is continuing in the U.S. Pro-Palestinians demonstrations have been happening across the country. Advocates have been taking to the streets calling for a ceasefire and for more freedom for Palestine. Many are also calling for U.S. aid to Israel to come to an end. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made a surprise appearance to the occupied West Bank today. He met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, saying America would deliver humanitarian assistance in Gaza. Blinken also made it clear that Palestinians, quote, must not be forcibly displaced. The U.S. Secretary has recently expressed sympathy for the death toll in Gaza, but still maintained that Israel has a right to defend itself. Palestinian President Abbas called for an immediate ceasefire during his meeting with Blinken. The AP is reporting the death toll in Gaza has reached over 9,000, including over 4,800 children. Over 200 Israeli hostages are still in the custody of the militant group Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says no ceasefire will happen until all hostages held by Hamas are released. Dozens inside a refugee camp in central Gaza were killed in an airstrike just yesterday. Tonight after Sports Plus, we'll hear from some area politicians about the ongoing war in Israel. Here's Mark Maxwell with a sneak peek.
Can a divided Congress afford to send aid to Israel and Ukraine? Can President Biden strike a deal to secure the southern border? Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt and Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski are on the record Sunday night after Sports Plus.
A woman in St. Louis who has been dressing and suiting up teens who can't afford it is in need of some help tonight. She's looking for a space to house all of her resources, and she tells 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings what she's looking for.
I prayed about it, and it just came on my heart probably about 3 a.m. in the morning because I had so many dresses of my own. I was part of like weddings and stuff like that.
15 years later, Tracy Owsley's passion project, Caring Mothers, has given away hundreds of dresses to young women across the St. Louis area.
Well, I started off probably with about 25 to 50 dresses. Now I have well over 200 dresses, and I have at least 75 to 100 suits that I have for boys.
Owsley recently ran into some trouble, though, in where to house those garments. For years, she was at the Demetrius Johnson Foundation, who let her place them in a building on Union Boulevard, a partnership with the city. But after Johnson passed, the city locked the building down.
I had people, the girls, young ladies, and their parents reaching out for prom dresses, and I had to turn people away.
A spokesperson for the city acknowledged Sunday the long-standing agreement with the foundation using the space, but said it had been in deteriorating condition and wasn't up to code. Now, the Boys and Girls Club on West Florissant Avenue, where the clothes are now, has given her a few days to find a solution.
They asked me to move my dresses, and I have no idea where I'm going to take my dresses now.
Owsley says she's looking for more than just storage space. Frankly, she's tired of sorting through boxes. She's looking for a location she can really showcase her items to the people who need it most.
I need a display space for the children to come in so they can select what they're looking for. Dresses and suits. I have shoes, I have jewelry, I have all that for the kids for any special occasion that they may need.
There's some force behind her fight to find a space.
You know, when they come in to pick out dresses and pick out suits, it helps build their self-esteem. And they also need to know that there are other people out here that care.
Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
If you have space or know of space that Owsley can use, you can contact her at caringmothers.com or by calling 314-753-7786. Gary rejoins us talking about these warm temperatures and if it's going to continue.
Yeah, it will. I don't think it's going to get, even when it cools back down, which we know it will in November, it's not going to get that cold, you know? We always kind of wait, and really the rest of the next 10 to 14 days, not many days below freezing even, so that's not something we typically look at. So
you don't really see that.
Don't really see that this time of the year, but we're going to start to trend our way back into the 80s, believe it or not. So we never really get rid of them, it seems like. So I do want you to take a sunset alert, because go outside and look at some really nice sunsets. I know it's weird because it's already starting to, the sun's setting or has set in many spots, depending on where you are. On the Illinois side, it's obviously already set, but you know, it's still a beautiful sky outside, even though it's going to be hard for us to get used to the sun setting at 4:57. Here it is down Market Street. As you look at temps in the mid-60s, we got to 68 degrees today. We were at 41 to start. That's where we should be. So we were about 8 degrees above normal, and right now we're still in the low to mid-60s. Alton 57. Otherwise, look at that warm air off to the southwest. That's what's going to be responsible for our warm-up over the next few days as it continues. And overnight tonight, we're only going to drop in the 50s. We have a few clouds around, light wind. Our sunset tomorrow at 4:57, like I mentioned. So we're getting used to that, but the wind is going to be picking up out of the south overnight, and especially out of the southwest. That's going to help keep our temperatures warm into the afternoon and warm us up. That's a very warm wind direction for us over the next couple of days. And for tomorrow, starting off in the mid-50s, you absolutely do not need a jacket under any circumstances, because it's going to warm up to 75 to 77 degrees, depending on where you are. And overall, I don't see for the next 7 to 10 days any dip in the colder air in the jet stream. So that's going to mean we have the opportunity for disturbances that impact us from west to east, but they really are not coming with any sort of moisture. And I think overall, look at that warm air building by the start of this week and even into early next week. I think this trend continues. So as fall warmth continues, we're going to be at the 77 tomorrow. A record high is 81. That was set back in 1915, 75 on Tuesday. Our record high is 80. We've seen that twice, but this one kind of caught my attention. 82 on Wednesday is the forecast. It was 82 last year on that same date. So that was also a record. So it's possible we'll tie the same record or break it on the same date. Next 7 days, though, we go from 77, 75 to 82. Then we're back down to 60, heading into Veterans Day weekend. Still, like I mentioned, in the mid to upper 30s, but it's not all that cold. So, overall, it's not bad. We just don't really see many chances for rain as it continues to dry out. But
I mean, people that like warm weather, they
definitely
love it.
will. It'll be nice.
All right, Gary, thanks. Well, have you gotten your flu shot yet? Our Verify team is taking a look at the most asked questions about the flu that are circulating around the internet. Megan Bragg is getting you the answers in today's Verify.
We took to Google to see what people want to know about the flu season. We took a look at the top searches and went to the experts to verify. Our sources, family physician Dr. Carla Robinson, the CDC, and GoodRx Health. The first question, does the flu vaccine actually contain the influenza virus in it?
One actually has a live version of the virus, but it's very, very weak.
Robinson says the vaccine with a small amount of the virus in it won't give you the flu because there's not enough virus to infect you. The CDC lists 6 different variations of the flu shot, some that contain the actual virus and others that do not. So we can verify that yes, some flu vaccines do have a very small dose of the virus in it. The next question, does the flu vaccine work right away? According to the CDC, your body needs about 2 weeks after you get the shot for antibodies to develop and provide protection.
Within that window, it is possible to get infected with some sort of, virus, upper respiratory infection, or even the flu itself.
So we can verify that no, the flu vaccine doesn't work right away. It takes about 2 weeks to kick in. And finally, how much is the flu vaccine if you don't have insurance? GoodRx, a company that provides discounts on prescriptions, tells us if you don't have insurance, the cost typically ranges from $25 to $90 out of pocket.
Those who are 65 and older have the option of receiving a higher potency vaccine, one that's a little bit stronger. Those tend to be a little bit more on the expensive side.
However, there are drive-up clinics in Mecklenburg County that offer the COVID and flu vaccines for uninsured residents at no cost. Robinson says the best time to get your flu shot is now, so you're covered in time for the holidays. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
What would you like us to verify? Send us an email at verify@ksdk.com.